All right, what's going on? Yo, I just finally finished watching Fear Street Prom Queen, and let me guys tell you, it was a blast. So when they first said that they was gonna do a Fear Street Prom Queen movie, I was very, very excited because a few years back, man, you know, we got the Fear Street trilogy. So I was very interested to see like, okay, will they continue the story? Will this be a totally new story? And yes, this is a brand new story. Now, one thing I could definitely say about this film is that it looks and feels and sounds like it is directly from the 1980s. I mean, they did a fabulous job, man. Like with the visuals, as in, there was a character that was kind of like a news reporter for the school, and every time you see her cameraman filming her, it looks like that old grainy type reel, something right out of the 80s. Like it's like 210p in the quality of image quality. They did a lot of that like throughout the film. And then like I said, the score was a lot of synthesizers, and it really did feel like you watching a 80s slasher movie, and it does a really good job. Even the characters, like the bullies, felt like your traditional bullies from the 1980s, especially in the horror film. The main bully, I think her name was like Tiffany. She lived right across the street from Lori, the main character, Lori Grainer. And you know, she has some demons. She has some skeletons in her closet because it was a tragedy that happened to her mom and her father. So, you know, they introduced us to her backstory and they let us know right out the gate, like, you know, you should kind of feel sorry for her. It's shady side, like nothing good happens to any of these characters, but you kind of feel for her. So she's kind of like down on her luck. She's viewed as like the nerd, a bully, a weirdo, but she wants to run for prom queen because of her backstory of what happened in the past. And she just wants something new and different to go on in her life. And I thought they really touched a good job on that as in her character. Now she have a best friend named, I think her name is Megan. And Megan and Lori, I feel as if their dynamic is really good. Really good. Their friendship is really the heart and soul of this film, because as in for everybody else, there's literally no character development, like at all. It's really just them two friends. They down for whatever. They're really cool. They look out for one another, especially Megan. She looks out for her friend Lori. I feel like majority of this film, especially towards the climax of the movie, she really does look out for her character. So she does a really good job. She's there for her, and that's what I like about the dynamic of these two characters for sure. Now, for any slasher film, the kills is really the most important thing about this movie. And yo, let me tell you guys right now, this movie does not hold back. It does not pull any punches. I mean, my goodness, some of these kills were pretty brutal. Now, I will say, still the top kill of the franchise go to in 1994 with the, I think it was the bread slicer kill. That was by far the #1 kill of all these films. But this movie definitely comes close. I mean, yo, they slicing and dicing. A lot of limbs is getting cut off in this film. Like, I'm talking about a lot of limbs. And like I said, this movie does not pull back on its punches, man. Like, it's showing a lot of stuff. Some of these kills, like the killer is using like an axe in this film, and yo, the killer is getting down with some of these kills. It's really gruesome. And it took me by, I want to say it took me by surprise, because watching the original trilogy, it took me by a really big surprise. Like, whoa, like these kills were crazy. But I am gonna say, like, I wasn't sure, you know, like how brutal, how crazy, how gnarly they was gonna get with some of these kills, and yo, they did not hold back at all. It was good. If you're a slasher fan, it was really good, for sure. I will say that this film does feel like your generic slasher movie, okay? Like, there's nothing special about this movie at all. We know the formula, okay? We done seen thousands and thousands of horror movies. We know what time it is, you know? It's kind of like a guessing game, like, okay, who's the killer? You get introduced to a whole bunch of characters, you know, a lot of bullies, just a lot of random people, and now you playing the guessing game, like, okay, who's the killer, you know? Now, they did attempt a slight twist. They did attempt a twist now. I will say that, as in with the killer, but other than that, we done seen it all before. But if you is a fan of the genre, you know, this really won't bother you. Me personally, I love slasher films. I love them. So this bothered me like at all. Like, I was not bothered by it at all. Honestly, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the fact that it's a very, very simple premise, a simple plot. Like I said, you get a little bit of backstory, but the killings were literally top tier. Really, really good. But the movie's only like a 1 hour, 30 minutes, and I feel as if the movie flows. It does a really good job of flowing. You know, you get introduced to these characters, and then like, I wanna say maybe like 30 minutes in, 20 minutes in, that's when some of the killings start. Now also, I was very interested to see like, okay, how much of this film will connect with the original trilogy. Now, they do leave you like a little bit of Easter eggs. Like, you know, you get the Sarah Fierce name drop, you know, at one point in time in the movie. And then it was something else that I did. Oh yeah, they did say Camp Nightwing, 1978. So they did kind of say that at one point in time too. So it's like a little bit of nuggets here and there that lets you know like, okay, we're in the same universe. But other than that, this movie is literally its own contained story in this universe, honestly. And it didn't bother me. The only thing that did bother me was the simple fact, like I said originally, this felt like a generic movie, like slasher film. So there literally was like no type of supernatural element that we have grown accustomed to with the first 3 films. Because if you guys know, in the first 3 movies, there was definitely supernatural elements going on at play. This one here is none of that. It's literally just somebody out here slicing and dicing people up. That's it. Nothing supernatural. Now again, this is a whole universe. There's many different stories that they could pull from, and not every story, I'm assuming, involves supernatural elements. So maybe that's just me nitpicking, but again, I had no issues with the story whatsoever. I had no issues with this movie whatsoever. It was still a very, very fun time. Now, the killer reveal I thought was okay. Again, I wasn't surprised. Well, I wasn't surprised, you know, and I guess the reasoning behind it is very simple. I mean, it's understandable, I guess, but it's simple. Again, we have seen this all too many times before, but overall, oh, and also too, like the ending, I kind of felt as if like it just ended. Like, okay, maybe in a way it felt like it was 2 endings because something happened, like the climax of the film. Well, we assume it's the climax of the film. You think, okay, that's it, we wrapping it up. And it's like, no, it kind of continues. It goes into a second location. Something happens, and then, okay, now the film ends. So, I mean, that was like an extra maybe like 15 minutes. I kind of felt as if they probably did tack that on towards the end of the film. Like, they had their script, and it's like, damn, we need to like add something else to this. And I feel as if they just added that, you know? But overall, it was okay. Now, if I had to rank this movie from a scale of 1 to 10 as an enjoyment factor, again, me personally, I love slasher films. I would definitely give this a 7 out of 10. It was a fun thrill ride. I love every second about this movie. The characters, the feel, the look, the aesthetics, everything about this film, I just had a blast with. But yo, thank you guys again. I hope you guys enjoyed that review. Like, comment, let me guys know, man, what you guys think about this film. I'm out.